Hi everyone, we're going to take a look at FERPA and what it means for all of us at Hampshire. FERPA stands for the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act and is a federal law. It's meant to protect identifiable information about students in records that are kept by the college. It also provides the right for students to access that information, to seek to correct it, and generally to consent to its disclosure. It's the responsibility of all Hampshire employees to know about and abide by FERPA regulations, so that's what we're going to go over in this video. Let's look first at directory or public information. Hampshire has a policy that specifies what information we make public, such as student names, emails, and campus box numbers. Students are notified of this policy, and they also have the right to opt out of sharing directory information. Any other information about a student is likely to be protected by FERPA, and it applies to information about the student that the college maintains or academic work they've produced or participated in at Hampshire. This can be on paper or online. It also applies to evaluations and other assessments of their work. The only people allowed to access this information are A, the student, and B, those who Hampshire has defined as having what's called legitimate educational interest in the specific information at hand. Legitimate educational interest means that you need to know this information in order to do your job. Curiosity is not a legitimate educational interest. An example of a person with legitimate educational interest in a student's records would be their academic advisor or a CASA or other college official. However, the student can consent to our disclosing this information to anyone they choose. FERPA does not require that post-secondary schools share students' information with their parents, so Hampshire chooses not to share it. Students can opt in to sharing information on general academic progress with parents, however, and most do. For more information on this, see our document about requests for privacy. Many employees here at Hampshire do have legitimate educational or professional interest in a student's records, and so we have access to student information protected by FERPA. It is extremely important that we not share that information with anyone else who should not have access to it. Even if you don't use our database, as part of your job you may know information about a student that is protected by FERPA. For example, you and your coworkers may need to know which room a student lives in, but you should not share that information with a parent or stranger. If anyone accesses student records or information without legitimate educational interest, that is a FERPA violation, and that is what we all need to make sure we avoid. When in doubt, always opt to keep student information private, and ask us anytime you have a question about what can be shared.
Up.